Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you guys how to find secondary scholarly sources. And for the purpose of this investigation, I'm going to choose my presentation topic. It's going to be the Spanish American Havana City in Architecture. First things first, we should go to Van's page on Canvas, which provides a great little guideline on what is a secondary scholarly source and how to find them. So here you can see that a secondary source is written much after the building was built. But the important part is we have to find secondary scholarly sources versus non-scholarly sources. So here, Van has provided us with a little guideline that I'm going to reference as I look for my sources. But generally, articles and books and journals, they all have an author, while non-scholarly sources tend to not have an author or maybe written by journalists who are not experts in the field. You should always look for a publishing date, a publisher, and make sure that they're published on academic libraries or academic journals. So let's open up Firefox. We're going to search up UF Library because I want to begin with the UF Library catalog. And as you can see here, I already have it saved, which I definitely recommend all of you guys to do because this is an amazing source for secondary scholarly sources. So we're going to search up Spanish American City, Havana, Architecture. I already have it here. Search. So as you can see here, we have a problem with the keywords that I put. So let's make it more simple. Havana City and Architecture. There we go. A lot of times, in order to get a wider range of results, you should either manipulate the title or change the wording, as I did now, Havana City and Architecture. So wow, we already have 34 matches. Here, I'm going to look at this one, Havana History and Architecture of a Romantic City, exactly what I need for my presentation. And as you go here, it has an author, Lobo Montalvo, good. Published New York, Monsali Press, 2000. All things that apply to a scholarly source. They have their sources cited. It has a plain design book cover. Looks like it. Let's press to see more. So yeah, this is definitely a scholarly source, not only because it's found in the library, in the UF library. It has an author, publisher, it's published. It has an ISBN. And lucky for me, it's in the UF Architecture Fine Arts Library. All right, so let's go back to our search page. Planning Latin American capital cities. So this may seem a little bit too general for my research presentation since it's focused on Havana City. So let me look forward. Let me continue looking. So is it a scholarly source? Yes, it has an author or an editor. An editor also works, Arturo Almandos. It has a publisher, London, New York, Routledge, 2002. Description, series notes. All right, definitely a scholarly source. And it's at the UF Smathers Latin American General Collection. Good. But I want to make sure that this will actually help me with my presentation project. So a lot of these searches, they give you the table of contents. So let me see if it has substantial information of what I need. And as I go down here, it has a chapter, an entire chapter on Havana, and that works perfectly for me because it deals with the more urban planning aspect of my city. Perfect. Now we already have, in the span of 2 minutes, we already have 2 secondary scholarly books. Let's see if I can find one more. Here, number 4, you see Cuba, Arquitectura y Urbanismo. I would actually strain away from this scholarly source because it is in Spanish, not my primary language. I don't feel like I'd be able to grasp it completely. But it's always good to use all types of sources in all languages if you're able to understand it and you're willing to go through the process of translating it. Let's just find one more book for our use. And then here we have Great Houses of Havana, A Century of Architecture and Design. Let's do our check. Does it have an author? Yes. Is a publisher? Yes. Publisher, Monsali Press, 2011. Has an ISBN. Book. So we should always check the location. U.S. Smathers Library works for me. And it's in library use, not checked out. So yeah, I'll be able to check this out for my presentation. So you can see, the UF library catalog is a perfect way to find guaranteed secondary scholarly sources. And the ones I've shown you are physical books, but here it says we have 3 available online, so that might work. But for online sources, I always like to go on JSTOR, which is a database that's paid by UF and gives us secondary scholarly sources. And not only does it give us secondary scholarly sources, for the most part, they let us download PDFs. So I'm going to search up Spanish American City, Havana, and architecture. It's loading, search results. So wow, let me show you the difference between this and the UF library catalog search. We have only 35 matching items, and here we have 1,282. So the JSTOR is really a great place to find sources. So I'm not familiar with journal articles, so let's go to Van's guideline. Journal issues are likely to be successfully numbered. Journal magazine issues are likely, versus a non-scholarly journal magazine issues, are likely to begin with page 1. Great. Journal issues tend to be published less often, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually. And this is for the most important part for scholarly sources. Books and journals would usually be found in academic library or an academic's office. So let's search it up here. From colonial port to post-revolution, urban planning for 21st century Havana. Works perfect for my presentation. Let's press it here. Well, while it loads, you can see, we'll wait for it to load. So here we have, it has an abstract, author's note, looks very legit so far. As you can see in the left side of the page, as an author, Laura Perananda Curry. It has a journal number and page numbers 50 through 69, and most importantly, is published by Columbia University. You can't fight with that. It's Columbia University. And the best part is it has a downloadable PDF where you just press here, accept the terms, and you can download the PDF, so you can even do research without having any internet on your computer. So this is what it looked like. Perfect for my presentation. So let's just use JSTOR one more time. Let's go back to our main page. It's going backward. Here we have another journal article, Havana Between Two Centuries. So again, it seems like a broad title. So I might not use this one because it's, but as I read forward here, it says, Carlo Venegas is an architectural historian, restorer, and conservationist. So obviously this is going to be a story of Havana between two centuries geared towards architecture. So what I'm going to search for here, this was published by FIU, Florida International University. Already good, has a volume, page numbers, and a set of authors. All right, so these are the sources that I found and I talked about at the moment. So you may be wondering why I just didn't go on Google. It's because Google, it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time, but it's really hard to find true secondary scholarly sources. So what I usually do, I go straight for the UF Library Catalog or JSTOR, because I would go on Google, Spanish American City, Havana Architecture. Here we have a company, Havana Tour Company, already not a scholarly source, not only because it's a website, because it's a .com, and it's a company. Inside Cuba, let's see if this would work. Doesn't even open. And it's obviously an ad page for tourists. And Wikipedia, which we've learned is a no-no since middle school as a scholarly source. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation, and my video, and good luck finding scholarly sources.